Welcome to part 1 of the video series. Let's not waste any more time and get into the video. If your scene is not paused already, do so right now. Place a blank puppet in your scene and label the puppet Friend. I recommend turning on the grid to align the puppet. I'm going to make a few adjustments to the puppet settings before I continue. You can pause and copy them if you wish. Now, in order to make the projectile system, you must first have a camera rig. Search the Dreamiverse for Acert's third-person camera V2. Shout out to him. This is what I'm going to use for this tutorial. Before getting his rig, make sure you turn off preview invisibility so you will be able to see it. Now place the rig in the scene. You should see that there are 2 cubes stacked on each other. Go to those cubes and scope into them by pressing L1 and X. We want to open the bottom cube's microchip. So open that microchip and go over to the teleporter. This teleporter will move the camera rig to the puppet tag position labeled camera position. However, we have no tag for it to follow. No worries. Scope out of the rig by pressing L1 and circle. Go over to your puppet and open the puppet logic menu. I'm going to place a microchip on the menu and name it camera. I'll then place a tag in the microchip. Going back to the camera rig, we see that the teleporter is named camera position. Notice the C and P in camera position is capitalized. Labels are case sensitive, so it is important that you pay attention to everything that you capitalize when labeling, or else things won't work and you will be frustrated. Now, go back to the puppet's camera microchip and name the tag the same as the teleporter's label, camera position. Now, unpause the scene. Wow, now if you've been following my steps, it looks off. No worries, we'll adjust the position of the rig using the tag. Pause the scene and press X on the camera position tag. If you didn't move anything, you should see a small white circle with tiny arrows in the middle. If you moved it, you'll see a sphere with 3 arrows coming out of it. To place the position of the tag precisely, turn on the grid and grab the circle or sphere. Now while holding the sphere, press triangle to align it to the grid. From there, move the sphere in between the feet of the puppet. Then, move it up 2 places. Once you do that, turn off the grid and unpause the scene. Now the camera is in a good position for us to work with. Of course, if you have a puppet with a different size, simply adjust the position accordingly. I usually like for the top cube to be aligned with the head. When you're satisfied, try it out in play mode. The camera seems to be quite far and the rotation is kind of slow. We can fix this really quick. Go back into edit mode and reset the scene by pressing L3. Now going back to the camera rig, scope into it and open the microchip on the bottom cube if you closed it. In the top left corner, you'll see value sliders. The max distance determines how far out the camera will be from the puppet. The next two sliders determine how sensitive the right stick will be when rotating or moving the camera up or down. I'm going to move the first slider to 6.2, the second to 3.5, and keep the third as is. But by all means, adjust these to your liking. Now that we got the settings adjusted, let's go to play mode and test this out. One more thing before we move on. We don't want the camera to go through floors or walls, or anything for that matter. To fix this, go into edit mode once again and reset the scene. Scope into the rig and open the microchip that's on the top cube. Go to the laser scope and open it. In the laser scope, go to the labels section. Switch the detection mode from collision to both. Then switch the detected labels to any selected. Now select any you wish to be on. Basically, what you're doing is determining which labels are going to collide with the camera. This will make the camera move closer to your puppet so that nothing clips through your camera. It's great to select as many as you can, especially for shooters. I'm going to select all except friend for now, but choose what you want. You can always go back and adjust this as you see fit. One last time, let's test this in play mode. Now this is pretty good, but I'm going to make minor adjustments so that the camera can be a bit clear. You can pause or slow down the video to see what adjustments I make. I'm glad you all watched part 1 of this tutorial series. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll be sure to answer the best way I can. Stay tuned for part 2.